So, Painkiller Black, our final game here, and it's the best one, okay? I'm just gonna be straight up. This is really, realistically, if you're only gonna play one game, this should be the game, but even if you want to play all of them, I mean, you probably should still only play this game. Like, this is the only game really worth a fuck of anything. You know, Overdose approaches this game's, level, and Hell and Damnation is a fine game on its own, I guess. It's a fucking terrible remake of this game, though. In 2025, Painkiller 2025, the reboot, is fun enough for what it is and for the price you can get it at. But I mean, this is the only game in the whole franchise that I'd say actually like breaks out of, all right into good, if not great. It's one of my favorite games I've ever played. It's up there with like Serious Sam, the first encounter and the second encounter. It's up there with like American McGee's Alice. It's up there with Madness Returns. It's up there with like the best games I've personally played in my life. But I mean, just like, man, the atmosphere of everything is so cool. It's like this gothic fucking gritty horror look to everything, but it's like the game realistically doesn't sound like it should be as entertaining as it is, because realistically you're just like, you get locked in a room, you fucking kill a bunch of hordes of enemies that are, realistically pretty simple in their design. It sounds like it should be incredibly, mind-numbing, boring, and some people find that it is, which okay. And taken to its absolute extreme, like in Painkiller Redemption and Recurring Evil, it does in fact become that, but I feel like this game strikes the perfect balance between mindless fun and like actually engaging experience. Like, you're moving through these fucking levels, everything looks so awesome, you're going through like gothic castles and like, giant Middle Eastern palaces and fucking biker gang prisons, and like you're going through Venice, Italy. The real beauty of this game comes down to the variety of it. The game veils this all in like, oh, we're just moving through the underworld, trust, but it's like, okay, sure we are, buddy. Like, that was just like a lame excuse for this game to just take place everywhere and anywhere and have like any kind of enemy they really wanted to. Like, there's like BDSM fucking flamethrower guys, there's like ball gag assassins and like killer clowns and like leaping lunatic fucking freaks. You're blasting and gibbing children in an orphanage at one point. Like, it's just a big grab bag of bullshit, and it's so cool. Speaking of enemies too, dude, this game took after like Serious Sam with the bosses in that they're just like actually gargantuan fucking huge monsters, and it's so awesome. Especially like the first time I played this, the Necro Giant was actually like staggering to me just because of the fucking pure size of him. Like, it's insane that you're fighting a fucking monster this huge. It's so cool. I mean, look, as for the boss fights themselves, buddy, like, Painkiller doesn't have a single, good boss fight. Any of the games. Like, I guess the closest it gets is the Alistair fight in this game. I don't know, that fight's okay. It's not the King Alistair fight. Let me clarify here. The King Alistair fight in fucking Battle Out of Hell, both the final bosses in both the main game and Battle Out of Hell are just the worst. They're terrible. It's a bunch of... The biggest issue here is that the boss design is just so, like, it's just esoteric bullshit. Like, level 3, for instance, the first time I played this, I kind of got stuck on this level and had to look up a walkthrough because I was genuinely just so confused. But what you had to do is you had to look up at the ceiling, shoot the boards where the star is, and then light shines down, and then you bring the boss to the light and it kills him. You can't kill this boss at all. That's the only way to kill him. Or actually, I think he does die eventually if you fucking spend like actually 30 minutes using the painkiller on him, but obviously like it's supposed to be that you can't kill him, and I don't know, like that's just shit. Like, it's just shit, and it comes down to like the final bosses too, like Lucifer, you have to know that you have to like shoot the meteor into his face, and then he throws the sword at you, and then you shoot the sword back at him and he dies. Like okay, like it would be fine if, you know, they signified that to you in some way, but when you go into the fight, like obviously I've known all this now for like a long time, but the first time through it was kind of irritating. And like Alistair, the King Alistair fight, you have to take fire damage in the circles, which spawns a stone guardian thing that comes up and hits him, and then when he's stunned, then you can finally hurt him. It's just strange, like weird esoteric shit, but whatever. Welcome to fucking early 2000s Polish game design, I guess. Like I don't really know what you expect otherwise, but the main levels themselves don't have, like, I mean, you could get lost sometimes, I guess, if you're, like, some of the levels kind of maybe are easy to get lost in and, like, a bit labyrinthian, but I don't really think so. Like, I think all the levels in this game are very, very well designed and, like, fun to play through. Fun progression. Not as much for Battle Out of Hell. Like, I'm gonna be straight up here. Battle Out of Hell, I like it, but the game really pops in the first half of it and then just like completely falls off a cliff in the second half. Like, you know, Stone Pit and the minecart one, like, I don't know, they're just fucking boring bullshit. Like, they're not fun at all, I think. But, you know, like the orphanage, the Looney Park, the Dead City, Stalingrad, those are all fucking peak levels. Like, I love those ones. A thing you should know about Stalingrad, though, it is like, okay, I've played through, you know, Redneck Rampage and Blood and shit like that, and Nom, the game Nom, and like World War II GI, and like Halo 2 Legendary. Okay, I beat that, and let me tell you something, the Stalingrad level is like maybe one of the worst cases of hit scan hell that I've ever seen in my life. Like it's insane, it's retarded. You know, it's actually approaching like World War II GI and Nom levels of hit scan hell. Like, it is fucked. Especially if you play on Nightmare like I do. If you're on Insomnia, I'm sure it's better because, you know, obviously you get the health back in each level, or each checkpoint rather. As for the main game though, I've got literally no complaints. Like, the main game, outside of the bosses, I mean, I've got no complaints. Like, the levels themselves they're just the best. They're so fun to play through. The weapons, man, I think this game has the best shotgun in any game, bar none. Like, it is so satisfying to use. Just the way it looks, the damage it does, the fucking way, you know, the animations are, the way it sounds, it's the fucking best. Especially with the alt fire. Man, comboing the alt fire with like a normal shot and just insta-gibbing people, oh my god, it's so fun. You know, I'm back on the topic of like esoteric, you know, obscure shit. I'm not saying this in a negative light, I'm actually saying this in a positive light now. But this game has so many like little, you know, quirks and features that it doesn't ever, like, the game doesn't tell you anything ever at all. And I think that's kind of to its benefit in some instances. Like, you know, every weapon in the game has an alt fire, and most weapons also have like a combination fire, which I think the game does tell you about the alt fire thing, but it does not tell you about the combination fire. So like, for instance, with the Painkiller, if you spin it up and then right click, you like launch the blade, and it's sick. I mean, it doesn't really, that attack's pretty shit. Like, the Painkiller, I think the Painkiller is the best weapon in the game, bar none. The best weapon in like every Painkiller game outside of 2025. You know, if you just like spam the right click, it does the most amount of DPS I think you can possibly get. But yeah, the Painkiller does the launchy blade thing. The shotgun, you know, you can combo the freeze shot with like a normal shot to insta-gib. The Electra driver, like the shuriken launcher electric gun, which is a sick concept, by the way. If you hold right click down and then shoot, you can launch like an electrified shuriken on the ground, and it'll like, you know, zap everything and kill everything in the vicinity, which is sick. You know, and with the SMG, with the flamethrower shot, if you hold down the flamethrower shot and click, it shoots out a propane tank that you can shoot and it'll explode. It's shit like that. Like, the game doesn't tell you about any of those at all. You just kind of have to figure it out. And same with things like, you know, bunny hopping. That's like a huge part of this game, but the game never tells you about it, which, I don't know, I think it's kind of cool. It gives it depth in a way. You know, you're always discovering stuff about this game. And that extends to the level design too, because this game, I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say this game is like polished in any way whatsoever, because frankly, it just is not, outside of like the graphics. Which, I mean, the graphics are kind of insane for 2004. Like, this is a really good looking game. But I think that lack of polish really, you know, lends itself well to this game, because there are so many, like, shortcuts and, like, speedrunning techniques you can use to, like, break the levels, you know, beat them faster, go through, like, skip parts. It's so cool in that way. If you watch a speedrun of this game, it's very entertaining, actually, what you can do with this game. But yeah, there's also like the tarot card system, which is like such a unique and awesome idea, you know, because I can't really think of any other game, any other FPS game from around this time outside of like Halo with the skulls, which has this kind of feature in it, you know, like this meta progression. Well, obviously, like, games, you know, had cheat codes and shit, but that's like a cheat code. I'm talking about like an actual meta progression, like you unlock through the game thing, which benefits you, you know, or like adds an effect to the game. The tarot card system is just such a cool system, man. Like, in each level, there's a challenge which will unlock a card, which will give you something to equip in your deck that'll give you like some sort of benefit, like, you know, collect souls from further away, or like, you know, more gold in the level, or like increase your base health from 100 to 150, you know, shit like that. And on the topic of souls too, what a cool system that is as well. You know, this game doesn't really have very many healing orbs or like health packs of any kind throughout the level. Instead, your main source of healing comes from killing enemies and taking their souls, which replenishes 1 health each time. And if you collect 66 souls, you morph into a demon form where you're invincible for a short time. You have like a infinite range, instant death weapon. It's so cool, man. Again, I don't really think I know of any other game from around this time with a similar, you know, effect or feature. It's just another unique thing that Painkiller does, which is just awesome. But yeah, man, like the music, oh, the music is sick in this game. It was all made by this Polish band Mech, which they did a fantastic job, man. Like, each of the songs in this game are just like, they're hard, buddy. Like, I don't know what to tell you. But yeah, it's from the music to the gameplay to the loop of the gameplay to the level design to the weapon design to the enemy, well, not the enemy design, let's be for real here. Most of the enemies are just like these they just kind of walk at you, you know, which is it is fun, okay, but it's not like a Doom scenario where like, oh, each enemy is like has its own unique fucking whatever. It's not like a Doom enemy design. It's just like kind of, well, okay, it's not to say every enemy in the game is just like, you know, walk towards you in melee. Like, enemies do unique things. It's just they're relatively very simple compared to a lot of other FPS games. But I think it works out just in how, you know, how many enemies there are in each encounter. It's fun, okay? It's not boring ever. But yeah, man, like, I don't really know what else to say about this game. Like, I kind of covered everything I like about it, everything I love about it, everything I don't love about it. There's not really much else to say. Like, it's just Painkiller and it's awesome. I'd give it like, you know, 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10 personally. Like, I think it's just awesome. But that's about it. So, see ya.